Hey YouTube, what's up? Hope you all are doing well. This is Mohammad Badruddin and today we are going to solve lab number 4 from Web Security Academy, and the topic or the module we are covering is SQL injection vulnerability, and this is the server side vulnerability. So up to now we have retrieved how many number of columns are there returned by the query through the application. Now in this lab we will see the data type. So suppose an application is executing a SQL query on the database to retrieve some information or to retrieve some data, and the database return the result of that query as 3 columns or 4 columns, but all these columns containing information with some different kind of data type, right? So data type like the value of that column is integer or string or varchar, like this. There are many data types, like let's say data type, so like integer, varchar, and decimal, float, etc. Now in this lab, what we are going to do, we already retrieved the number of columns in the previous lab, and here we will see the data type of the result. Integer is also known as int. I already open up the lab here. You can see these are the same lab, but this is the product name, this is the product price, and inside there is product detail. Now we will go and see what's in the lab number 4. So SQL injection union attack, finding a column containing text. Text means string, or we can say varchar, something like this. So the agenda of this lab is, this lab contains an SQL injection vulnerability in the product category filter. The results from the query are returned in the application's response. So you can use union attack to retrieve data from other tables. To construct such an attack, you first need to determine the number of columns returned by the query, right? So you can do this using the technique you learned in the previous lab, means lab number 3. And the next step is to identify a column that is compatible with the string data. Fine. So the lab will provide a random value that you need to make appear within the query result. To solve the lab, perform an SQL injection union attack that return an additional row containing the value provided. So this technique helps you to determine which columns are compatible with the string data. Very well. So if we come here in the lab, we will see lab will give us one string value, and once we identify a column containing the varchar or string type data type, so we will put this value in the query to complete the lab. Let's go select a category. Let's say gift. You can choose any category you want, and let's try to add single quote. So that will give you internal error, because this is actually in the query. Here in the query it is going to be like this, and this is invalid syntax. Now we need to comment rest of the query with 2 dash sign, and first of all we will follow the previous lab number 3, where we identify the number of columns. So let's say order by 1, hit enter, and as you can see there is no error because 1 is the valid column. Fine. So ordered by clause will give you no error until you exceed the exact number of column. So now let's say 2, hit enter, and 2 is valid column. Come here, 3, hit enter, 3 is also valid column because we did not get any error up to now. And let's say 4, hit enter, and we got internal server error. It means this is invalid column. It means there are only 3 valid columns. Fine. So now we identify number of columns with ordered by. Let's now try union select statement. So union space select, let's say null comma null, hit enter. It will give you error because it is opposite, its result is opposite to the ordered by clause. It will give you error until you reach the exact value of exact number of columns. So add one more null, and yeah, so 3 is the valid columns. Now we need to identify the data type of the columns, and the data type we need to identify is string type. So what we will do is we will add AAA and hit enter. So as you can see, we get an internal error. Why? Because this first column result, first column data type is not string or is not varchar. It may be a integer. So let's try 1 and hit enter. So yeah, this data type is supported data type. Even if you write, let's say, even if I write 100, hit enter, it will not give us error because 100 is integer value. Next is we go to the second column, and here we will put AAAA. So any string value you need to put, you must put inside the single quotes. And as you can see, we did not get any error. That means the second column type is string. Let's try third column. So third column, let's say BBB, hit enter. So we got internal server error. That means this is invalid data type. It's not BBB. Maybe it's integer. Let's try 10, enter, and yeah, it's integer, or maybe it's decimal. Let's try 10.15, hit enter. Still it's not giving us any error. So let's increase the value of this, hit enter, and still we did not get any error. This third column is not the string data type. So that's it. Only the second column contains the string data type. Now if you want to solve the lab, you need to take this string from here, and instead of AAA, we need to put that string, hit enter, and we solve the lab. If you like the content, please like, subscribe and share. See you in the next video. Bye.